Hello, family. It is January 4th. How are you doing? How's your New Year's been? I know you talking about I done popped on here like ain't nothing happened. Look, I'm just going to say I'm busy. That's all. I'm busy. I'm busy doing all kinds of stuff. I'm busy in school, busy with Rooted Finds. My husband, 360 Consulting, has finally got his business up and going. So trying to help him and guide him in the right way. But look, how are y'all doing? How are y'all feeling? How you doing? I'm sitting here putting some labels on these tea filters here, y'all, because I got a lot of stuff going on. But look, I really came on here with a message. I like to come on with a message. I don't like just popping on and ain't got nothing to say. You know, what's the point of coming on and I ain't got no nuggets for you, right? So I did a video, and this will probably be tagged in it, for this year, talking about letting go. We are still in the letting go season. I know last year I really went deep into that thing, starting November all the way into like February. You know, because new spring, you know, is really in either March or April when we really start the new year. But that's neither here nor there. Look, when we decide we are still in the letting go season and we are still preparing our vessel, ourselves, to receive something great as we go into this new year, I didn't speak about something that's really important, and that's grief. And I know this realm only teaches you grief when people transition out of this realm. But grief is so much more. From the time we enter this realm, we are grieving. We lose so much. So much is taken, so much is lost, so much is robbed from us. And we never see it as grief, because the only time someone speaks to you about grief is if someone has transitioned out of this realm. And it's really sad, because there's sorry, my husband's coming down the stairs all slow. It's a YouTube video. Because there's other ways to grieve. Some people have to grieve a life they thought they were going to have. Some people are grieving a job that they have lost, because that job was so much of a part of them that now they don't know who they are anymore, right? And so they grieve that. Some people grieve relationships, not just like husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, but some people grieve friendships that they had to cut off and end because it was no longer healthy for them. So grief is part of the letting go season. So when you get ready to let go, understand that you also have to allow yourself time to grieve. And that's why meditating and being by yourself is so important during that time, so that you can be aware of what's going on in your mental and in your spiritual state. Okay. And then you will come to a point where you will understand later on as you move forward, because we don't want to stay there, because grief can turn into all kinds of things. And we don't want that to happen. So you cannot stay there. But you can prepare yourself to move forward once you recognize what's going on with you. Because when you don't, and you have an empty vessel, you start to cling to people, places, and things that are not healthy for you. A lot of people don't know how to be alone with themselves. A lot of people are scared of themselves, and they don't want to reflect or look back to grow, but you have to. There's no way to move forward until you know who you are. Grief makes you become self-aware, self-responsible for whatever parts you played, for whatever decisions that you're going to make going forward. So what you don't want to do is get out here and start clinging to the first thing that comes to you, because that happens, especially in relationships. People who don't know how to be by themselves will jump out of one relationship and go to another fast, quick, and in a hurry, and be in the same situation. Why? Because they didn't deal with themselves. They didn't deal with the situation that they just left. They didn't grieve it properly. They were scared to grieve. Whatever it is, you have to go through the grieving process. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Understand that when we talk about new wineskins, old wine skins, all right, that you cannot pour new wine into old vessels. because you are no longer at that stage. You are no longer at that place. You have grown beyond that. You need a different vessel to hold the new wine, the new oil that is about to be poured into you. And you have to make yourself ready. That is why you have to meditate and cleanse and die to self every day, because then you become a new vessel. And whatever it is that is for you will now be able to come and pour into you. So you have to make sure that you are ready for that, right? At the last video, I had talked about when you make tea and preparing your kettle, you want to make sure that it's already warmed up to receive that which you're about to pour in. And again, like I said, there is no difference in life. Prepare yourself for those things that you want to come. There is no reason to sit there and ask and cry and beg for something, and then it comes your way and you're not even prepared for it. You're not prepared for it. Right? And that's how sometimes a lot of blessings are missed or your prayers aren't answered, because nobody's going to waste their time trying to answer your prayers and you are not prepared. You're still holding this old cup that has cracks and holes, and so they're going to pour into you and it's just going to flow through. You know, people who, you know, they always say when they got money in their pockets, it's like having holes in their pockets. Same thing. Who's going to pour into that? They want to know that you're ready, that you've done the work with self, that you've done the work with whatever it is that you're trying to get to. You have to lay the foundation and make sure that you are standing there with your cup, your vessel ready so that you can be poured into and blessed. And so as we still steep, as we still think, as we still make a plan for ourselves so that we can move on, we want to do that in a healthy fashion. We just don't want to go into it, what they say, all willy-nilly. We want to do it in a healthy fashion. Oh, I got all these done. I had so many yesterday as I was studying. I was trying to do 2 things at once, y'all, because I got a lot going on. So I got most of these done, and these were the last little bit that I had. So, you know, just little tea filters. Because y'all, let me tell y'all, I've opened up, you know, the school platform. So I opened up a school platform and it's tea blending. But we ease into it. There's no pressure here. So the first week or two, it's just really realizing and being self-aware. And taking your time and getting to know yourself with a cup of tea. And then as I'm building the platforms, the herb wisdom and all of that will come. So I'm just kind of inviting people to go on, and the link will be below if you want to join. No pressure, whatever. But I've been working on that too, because I do want to do online herbal classes. I got a lot of things kind of transpiring and going on. Another thing is that I definitely want to come back on here and be participate more like I was. So that is one goal of mine, to really pour back into the community, because you guys have really poured into me. Even me not being here, lots of stuff going on, you're still pouring into me. You're still checking on me, and I really appreciate that. And I'm just trying to prioritize my time to figure out how I can do all of these things and still be successful. Because even just pre-making this video, I got a lot going on today. But I said I'm going to sit down and I'm going to put out a video and try. And you know what? I'm not even going to promise anything. It is what it is. I'm just going to be very transparent. So I'm going to do the best I can. I think I've said that before, but still, I'm going to do the best I can. Look, you guys, I hope you got something out of what I've said as far as the grieving process and letting go. Make sure that this time, as you are letting go of the things that no longer serve you, make sure you're not running to the same things, because sometimes we think we're running to something new and it's disguised, right? And we get in that thing and it's like, oh, I've been here before. I've been here before, but it introduced itself as something new and something that seemed to align with what you got going on. But take your time when opportunities present itself. Ask the questions, right? Let the other person do a lot of talking if it has to do with relationships, because people will always tell you who they are if you let them talk. And make sure that you have an ear to listen. And if you don't have that, they're not giving you the vibe, right? Because you got to pray for discernment and intuition. Then let it go. And we don't have to be rude about it. We could just walk away. Let them finish what they got to say or whatever and walk away. But you know that doesn't align with who you are or where you're trying to go or the life you're trying to live. There are people out here that should be in your tribe. There are people out here that will uplift and support you. And a lot of those people are just strangers. They don't know you, right? But for some reason they're connected to you. That's because God always sends those that belong to you, right? You can't lose what God gives you. And if you do lose it, that just means greater is coming. Now that is not a lie. Greater is coming. I always think of the little girl. If you've seen the cartoon picture of the little girl, she has a cute little teddy bear and Yeshua is standing in front of her and he's asking for her teddy bear, but behind his back, he has this big bear. And she's like so scared to let it go, right? Because this is all I have. This is all I know. And if you take it from me, who will I be? That's that grief. Who will I be if you take it from me? What will I have if you take it from me? Because you don't believe that this realm is full of abundance. Because you don't believe in reciprocity, right? So you think that you're going to give this over and you will have nothing for it. You're going to walk away empty-handed, but it never works that way. She's going to hand that little bear over and then she's going to receive this huge giant bear. She's going to receive her abundance, her overflow. Her barns are going to be busting at the seams. She is going to be elevated and in that supported. She's going to be able, even though she's small, she can still grab that big old bear and walk off with a big smile on her face and go into a new territory and have a different relationship with this big bear than she had with the little one. She'll never forget the little one because that is her start. That is her foundation. But she will always know that it's okay to let go. Don't be stingy. Open your hands. Let go so that more can come to you. Abundance can come to you. That the things that you need will flow your direction. All right? So work on yourself, your shadow work. Deal with the demons that are in your closet because they're there and they talk quietly. And that's why meditation is so important because it will reveal that which shouldn't be. And that you can go in and kill off that which is trying to kill you. Because understand that we are our worst enemies. We are first line enemies of ourselves. When we talk about who's our enemy, I'm my own worst enemy. I got to fight me every day. I got to fight this mind every day so that I can stay on the right track. So make sure that you pray that God makes your crooked road straight, right? And that your feet stand firm and can hold the weight on your shoulders as you move forward. That you are in the blessing business and that not only are you being poured into, but you are pouring into others. Because that is the name of the game. That is why we are here in service to one another. Never get that twisted. All right, you guys, I'm going to let you go. It was so good seeing you all. I love all that you guys are doing. You're out here doing the work and it's beautiful. And you're pouring into others. Great knowledge, great wisdom. Feel good. Some people get on here because they're having a hard day and they just want to see a smile, or they want to see that how you are living is possible, or maybe they want the wisdom that you have. So keep doing what you're doing. You are a blessing on this platform and don't let anyone tell you anything different. All right, you guys, have a blessed day. And I gotta get ready to do some homework, schoolwork. You hear my husband over there. You see it. Football, the noise. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.